Seph, I just want to start by thanking you for chatting with us at the Christian Beat, all about your debut album and the music you have released, will be releasing, and all that fun stuff.
So fun to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to start with the debut album's title.
Hmm.
Obviously, it's "Counting My Blessings," uh,
Yeah.
which has been a song that has done a lot for you and probably has done for a lot for others. But I just kind of want to hear your thoughts on kind of the longevity of that song so far and kind of how it's maybe transformed for you kind of since you first released it,
Yeah.
since you've lived so much life between then and now.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I wrote the song in the season where I felt like so much was happening.
Mhm.
And then I feel like since the song came out, a bajillion more things have happened. you know, and but that's the beautiful thing I think about a song like that is it's a song about gratitude, and I think that's why it's resonated so much with so many people across so many different spheres of life and even belief, right? Is because I think gratitude is something we can all relate to. And even like it's funny when science like finally catches up to like what faith has been teaching us forever. It's like gratitude is good for you. And all these like groundbreaking scientific discoveries that are like this just in, gratitude is good for your health. And like anyone who's read their Bible is like, yeah, we've known this. Like we know that this is good. And so, but I think like gratitude is just something that is so impactful for people. And a song that just reminds people to give thanks, because that's the thing about gratitude. I think we feel it in different moments, but we don't oftentimes take time to like actually stop and thank, like do the act of gratitude, the act of thanking God or thanking a friend, thanking whatever it might be. And so I think for me, it's just been a cool reminder to do that in different seasons, whether it's been because amazing things are happening or whether because hard things are going on. Like being able to actually pause and thank the Lord and like actually like be like, man, that cool thing just happened. And I like had a moment of excitement in my heart towards it, but now can I actually take that and thank the one who gave it to me? And I think that's been really a cool challenge for me is like actually like singing about counting my blessings, but like, man, how do I actually make this? How do I actually count my blessings? Like, am I making it a part of my day-to-day regular life? And I think that's just always something that I'm always trying to increase and do better at.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm curious for you, since that song itself, as a just a one song unit, has meant so much. You're now kind of making that the title for the full project.
Mhm.
Uh, how does the gratitude piece, the meaning of that song, kind of impact the meaning of the whole project for you and kind of feel like that lifeline through the songs?
Yeah, totally. I think it's cool because like that song is so invitational to even just the Lord, and that's why you'll have people like Hugh Jackman posting about it or like including it in things or Gal Gadot or like whoever, all these like different celebrity people because it's so accessible. And I feel like for me, I want the album to be something that is unashamedly Christian and accessible at the same time because it just speaks to the basic truths of faith. And I think like so much of the album is just that invitation. It's like, hey, we have a God who loves us and is here for us and cares for us. And because of that, we have so much to be grateful for. Because of his love for us, because of his mercy for us, because of how he makes all things like come to good for the good of those who love him. Like we have so much that we can celebrate and give thanks for. And I feel like the album is really about that. Like when I think about the collection of all these songs together, to me, like it's an invitation to the heart of God. It's an invitation to his love and his mercy and his goodness that all those things allow us then to be grateful. They're the reasons why we have gratitude.
Absolutely. And I'm curious, I'm not going to ask you favorite song because I'm sure that that would be almost impossible to answer. But which track are you kind of in your current season right now, kind of most gravitating towards and kind of interacting with?
Yeah. Man, um I think the one I would say two. One is Words Will Sing Forever is a song
Hmm.
that came out I think in January. That's part of the album. It was like the first like single when we started like starting to talk about the album. And I love it because it's just a worship song. And I think from someone who just came from like such a worship background, and just love like leading worship is like my favorite thing ever to do. And having a song that is just purely worship. And I think there's so many different reasons for so many different songs, and they're all needed by the body of Christ. But I think I love songs that just get our eyes off of ourselves for a moment and just put it back on him. And I think that's just where I'm at in the season is really like I love just songs that do that. And so that's been really special. And then there's a song on the album that is I think it's literally might be the last song. It's called Come On Home. And it's one that it's I remember just writing it and it was so special writing it because I just in high school I was running like a whole group of youth that were just like running after the Lord really hard. We'd get together once a week and pray and talk and worship for hours. And it was just so special. And I remember one time just thinking about some of those people. Some of them are like now missionaries and like doing amazing things for the Lord, which is so cool. But a number of them too, it just I've kind of, over the years have walked away from the Lord. And I'm just like, man, like if I could say anything to them, what would I want to say? And this song kind of like came from that. And it's just like, hey, come on home. Like, it doesn't matter where you've been, it only matters where you go. Like, and I think that's just special for me as I like see different people from different walks of life that have been part of my life, who aren't really with the Lord now. I just have such a heart to bring them back into the church, back into the Lord's arms. And that song is just is my best way of expressing that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you mentioned Words Will Sing Forever. You also pre-released recently the Won't Start Now track,
Hmm.
as well as Turn It to Praise. And I'm just
Yeah.
curious kind of why those two as well, you kind of wanted to help kind of preview what's to come from the whole project.
Yeah. It's so fun, like, cause I think it was kind of I love songs, I love being able to kind of, right in different arenas within like the Christian sphere bubble, right? So you have Words Will Sing Forever, which is, very much like a worship church song. And then
Uh-huh.
you have Turn It to Praise, which is kind of like a little bit rock and roll. Like kind of got some like grit and edge to it, and just kind of like one like a song you can just like shout at the top of your lungs. And it's kind of fun, like and it's a different kind of, lane in the Christian music sphere. And then Won't Start Now, I feel like is a lot more like what you might hear on the radio, but still like different and unique in its own style. And so I think it was fun just like choosing songs that felt me, but also kind of showed like, hey, this project is full of a lot of different types of songs in a lot of different types of ways. And all of them like feel very me, but it's also, they all feel unique and special individually. And so it was funny
Mhm.
because Words Will Sing Forever and Turn It to Praise were like the no-brainers. And then we had like three songs we were like really considering um for that third slot, like that final
Mhm.
single. And it was like toss up between all of them, and we were just going back and forth. And Won't Start Now was the one that ended up making the cut. But I'm excited for people to hear the other ones. One of them will be on this album, and then the other one, we ended up punting to a deluxe album that's coming out in September. So we'll hear a couple more songs on that one as well. But yeah, it was a fun process trying to figure out like, oh, which one of these do we want to like show? And it's so hard to pick. And like, well, I just want to release them all.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, probably the number of songs that even are going to make the deluxe, I'm sure that are just
I know it's so wild.
it's crazy. So, the other thing that you've been releasing alongside the music are the music videos themselves and kind of giving that kind of visual component to it. I'm just curious how much input you put into those kind of like visuals going in and how what those kind of experiences are for you as you're, trying to bring the
Mhm.
songs to a different light there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's fun because like so the first one we ever did was obviously the Counting My Blessings. And I
Mhm.
was like, this is actually the shirt I was wearing for it. That's so funny. Um, and Counting My Blessings, the release for it was so rushed because we were not planning on releasing it till like fall, and then a couple things shifted and we had to move up the timeline to July. And so all of a sudden they're like, hey, we need everything in like 2 weeks. And so everything was like so fast, and we like So like the video for that wasn't even supposed to be a music video. It was just supposed to be for content. And then we're like, well, let's just put it out as a video. And now it's got like, millions and millions of views. And it's like, what the heck? And that's just kind of what we did for like all those songs on the EP, was just like a pretty simple performance video type thing. And so then Words Will Sing Forever was the first one where we kind of like started to put a little bit of thought into, and it was more of like, all right, let's actually like plan a setting and have different cuts. And then Turn It to Praise really kind of like up the game on it. And then Won't Start Now was kind of like one where it was also a little bit last minute, but we want to get something. So I ended up waking up at like 3 a.m. to go like shoot like a sunrise thing, and we're just like traveling around throughout the whole day. It was crazy. But it's been fun like learning, I think I'm just in a very learning phase, which is kind of fun to be in, where I'm still discovering like, all right, what is a good, like, what does a music video that feels me look like? What is that? What would compel someone enough to like watch it instead of just listen to it? And so it's fun to like kind of begin to learn that, and speak into things and throw different ideas around. I've had an amazing team with my label that's really kind of spearheaded most of all of it right now, and it kind of throwing out the ideas and planning it all out. And they've just been so great, and it's fun to begin to kind of take more ownership and see like, oh man, like what if we did this, or what if we tried this, or whatever it might be. And then the Steady Love music video, Steady Love is the focus track on the album, and that's the
Mhm.
we'll have the music video out for that. I think when the album releases. That one's like a wild one. It's so funny. It's like a day in the life kind of thing, but it's just so silly and off the wall. And I think it'll take people aback a little bit, because if they're used to just like the serious side of Seth, they're about to see the utter goofball side of Seth, which will be kind of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. It's funny that you mentioned that you're kind of in a learning season, because one of the questions I was going to ask you is kind of what have you learned about yourself through the process of pulling together, writing the songs, recording them, kind of pulling them together for this project.
Yeah, I think it's cool. This project is the culmination of songs from honestly probably 3 years worth of writing, because I was writing a lot of songs before I was even signed to a label, and then we put out Kind of My Blessings, and then that just blew up, and then it kind of just shifted the timeline for everything. And so then now we're like, all right, we're finally like we're about to put an album on this season. And I'm so excited for it, because it has been just like, to me, it's like looking back at the last 2, 3 years of my life and just kind of seeing monumental moments from it that are encapsulated in these songs, which is really, really special. And so I think it's just been like, it's been a reflective learning period of like, oh man, that song meant this to me then, and it means this to me now, and able to identify like, oh, how have I changed to make that happen? Like what
Hmm.
has changed in my life to make it mean this then and this now. Um, and then also I think just in putting it together, I think the critic in me is also like has learned a lot too, about like what, but it's like help refine it. It's like helped refine the type of music I want to make. And, I think even just being on tour this past spring for the first time, like doing my first headline tour, was like, oh man, like these are the types of songs I want to sing live. And and these are the types of songs that I'm seeing like really resonate with people. And so I feel like I'm continuing to learn like through this project, like learning like, oh man, like these are the songs that really speak to me. And these are the kind of songs that I really resonate with and really love to lead live and really love to talk about and things like that. And it's cool. Like it's kind of like this like both and of like, man, this album is so special to me because it is like my first child, and does represent like so many years of my history with the Lord. And at the same time be like, man, I can't wait for the second album, because it's just about to go even like more nuts because of like just the journey that I've been on in learning and then figuring out, my own style and voice, and the way I want to express myself.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really great to hear. Well, we're getting close to time, so I want to kind of give you the opportunity to wrap with one final question here. And I want to kind of give you the opportunity to kind of share. You've talked a little bit about wanting the album to be accessible, but also obviously Christian as well with the messaging. But what's your intention and kind of your prayer for this project in particular as it gets released and listeners get to listen to all the songs?
Yeah. I feel like, I kind of mentioned this a little bit before, but when I was thinking about these songs, because again, it's songs from years of experience in life, and I'm like, what is the connecting point in all of it? What is like the heart of the album? I had someone ask me the question like, what's the main message of the album? And I think for me, the word that came to mind was just like an invitation. Like it's just like an invitation. It's like an invitation for those who, maybe don't know the Lord to like know like, man, there is a love that is unconditional and it doesn't care what I've done in the past. It just invites me into his arms now. And for those who have, followed the Lord, but kind of have wandered a little bit and just kind of, had some shaky seasons, it's like, hey, you can still come back to him. His arms are still open wide for you. Like he still loves you. And, for those who have been following the Lord, it's like an invitation to just maybe go a little step deeper and maybe just begin to live out that love in an even deeper way. And so I think to me, the message like that I hope people get away from it is like, hey, you are so radically loved by a God who like sees all your flaws and mistakes and just still none of that matters to him. And as a result of that, we have so much to be grateful for. We have so many blessings to count. We have so many reasons to praise him because of how good he is and how and that love and mercy he has for us.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you again, Seth, for taking the time. I've really enjoyed getting to hear more of your heart behind the music and just kind of how you see the whole process. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a blast talking. Thanks for having me.